So like, to break it down as simple as I possibly can, like view your data as the fuel that fuels the race car. And your insurtechs, your third-party services are those add-ons that can make that race car that much faster, okay? If you put dirty fuel into the race car, is it gonna run? No. And who the hell is calling me right now? Now, if you've got dirty fuel in the race car, is any add-on or performance part going to operate at its full capacity? So it all stems at the agency level on what you actually get out of a lot of great companies out there. So break it down all the way to, the team. When you're going through and you're training your team on what to put in, how to put it in, those little things that we overlook can make a big impact in the grand scheme. Anurag, you mentioned AI, so I want to dig in there because AI has, been a big topic, but it's advancing very quickly. Even from just this time, we had the event last year, it's advanced. And I'm going to start with Frank. You've been at this for over 40 years. You've seen the industry, change in many, many ways. AI and the current adoption now to where you think it will be in 5 years.
Lord, just throw me in the deep end. My use of AI personally is pretty minimal. I'm on a local civic board, and we have a statute that we needed to try to educate people about, and I copied it into ChatGPT, and I said, give it back to me at a 5th grade level. And I still couldn't understand what it said. So I said, give it back to me in a 2nd grade level. And it made sense. It worked. That's a pretty, on the one hand, amazing capability. It's also not terribly useful in a business context. All of the startups that I work with, almost all of them do some level of AI. Some are very, very AI intense, like Aureus Analytics. At this point, I don't think Cake's heavy-duty AI, but there's a serious amount of potential there in terms of evaluating more complex financials. But ultimately, they're using AI to do very specific things, okay? So there's a business problem they're trying to solve, they're focusing on it, and they're finding the AI tools that help them address that issue. In the long term, my concern for AI, we're going to run out of electricity. And I am not kidding you. The chips that they're coming out with right now burn electricity like nothing you've ever seen. And they're producing them in the millions. And everybody in the world is jumping in and trying to put this to use. And it's like crypto, only worse, So where it goes, I don't know. The practical applications today are very, very helpful. And especially in a very data-intensive world, agents can limit the amount of data that they need, but ultimately our insurance carrier partners can't. Well, they could, but they're not going to. And ultimately, that data is one of the most complex and rich data sets in the universe. There's almost nothing like it. And so I think there's going to be tremendous opportunities there. And beyond the text type of applications that I've just described, one of my startups does AI video analytics. You know what it takes to analyze someone's face and determine where their eyes are looking so that you can tell, using the camera out the windshield, with the threats that are out there, whether the driver is looking at that actual threat? That's an incredible application for AI. And I see an enormous potential in the risk mitigation category. In fact, in general, with sensors and everything else, that's something that I see as a huge potential for the insurance industry if we can figure out how to monetize it. And agents are the best people in the world for figuring out how to monetize things. And so I've got to believe that this group and other groups like you will be able to figure out how you can help your customers be safer using these AI technologies, rather than just selling them a policy. Because you make somebody safer, you're going to keep them as a customer for a long time. You sell them a policy, especially one policy, who knows?